guess I need to. Anyway, hello everyone. I was trying to figure out why my room seems so dark, especially that side over there, and I can't figure it out. But anyway, so I posted a video earlier about wanting to do a video about my experience with truck driver training with the two different schools that I attended. Programs, not really schools. Well, one of them is a school, but anyway. And that's what this video here is about. So the two schools I trained with, and mind you, I trained with them in 2019. So it's been like 2 years since I trained with either of them, but they were Wilson Logistics, also known as Will Trans. And then I did training with CFI, which I did through Crowder College. So that's the one that's actually a school. So I wanted to talk about some of the similarities and differences. There was at least one person who asked me, before I forget, make sure you subscribe to my channel and like this video if you like it. And feel free to leave comments, of course, and I'll try to answer anything I can, or I will answer anything I can. So anyway, yeah. Someone asked whether or not they train, whether or not Wilson Logistics trains on automatics. And they do. We did the pre-trip inspection every day that I was there. The program lasts for 7 days, and the testing is in the last couple of days of that. Well, realistically, you get there on, I want to say I got there on a Sunday and started Monday. So yeah, got there Sunday, classes started Monday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, no, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we did the training. Thursday, the people who were still there did their first attempt at the test. I'm pretty sure because you have to have 48 hours between. So then Friday, Saturday, they got a second attempt if they didn't pass the first attempt. So that's the way that works. And we did the pre-trip inspection every day. I did 2 bobtail runs, which, if you don't know, is without a trailer. And the other people did 1 run, except for a guy who was in the military whose trainer was there, which was a guy that came back, who had driven with them before, came back to do onboarding when we did ours. And he lived like in the same town as the other guy, or a town or 2 away or something like that. So he volunteered to be his trainer. So I'm not sure what all he did. He did a lot more than the rest of us did, because mostly what the rest of us did was practice backing. Straight line backing was pretty much all we practiced when I was there. I want to say we started the offsides. No, we started the parallel backing when I was there. And I'm pretty sure that like after I spoke to their director and, we decided that I was not going to make it with that training program, then I'm pretty sure they were working on the other types of backing, but I do not know for sure that they were. I went Memorial Day weekend of 2019, and it rained a lot. So, we wore frog togs and went ahead and did some in-cab inspections. I don't think we did any backing whenever it was raining, and we didn't do any driving. We didn't do the bobtail or the run with the trailer while it was raining. So I feel like if we had gone when it wasn't raining, we might have got more actual in-truck experience. Now they do still have simulators, and they had the option to train on either a standard or an automatic. Whenever we signed up and like we were doing the simulator, me and one of the guys were on the simulator for automatic, and the other 2 guys were on there for standard. But whenever we did the runs in the trucks, I'm pretty sure that we all drove automatics, which didn't make sense to me, which, I mean, that's what most companies use now anyway. So, and then Crowder College for CFI, they have a longer program. I believe my brain is saying it's 3 weeks, um, 2 to 3 weeks. Oh, golly, it's been so long. I can't remember how long the program was. But I believe I have some more videos that I still have not posted yet from when I went that talks about my experience with CFI at Crowder College. A couple of things I do want to point out with that. When I trained at Wilson Logistics, we stayed in a hotel. So it wasn't really necessary to take towels and a sleeping bag and all that sort of stuff. Of course, if you do make it, you will need that stuff when you go with your trainer, which you do after you pass your CDL test. And it's always a good idea when you're doing truck driver training to take at least a sleeping bag, a pillow, and I recommend taking 2 towels with you and maybe a washcloth or 2 just in case. But okay, so at Crowder College, they do not provide the bedding at all or pillows. You sleep in dorms. Which dorms they are exactly will vary. They have some that are specifically for truck drivers that are closer to the college than where most of their dorms are. And those are the ones that I stayed in. But they do not provide towels, washcloths, anything like that. So at the recommendation of people from the Truckers Report, when I went on there and discussed whether or not, discussed different things about truck driver training, when I went to that school, I did take 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, and 2 washcloths with me, as well as a sleeping bag, a sheet, and a pillow. And they have laundry that you can use. They don't provide soap or fabric softener or anything like that, and you do have to pay. It's like a laundromat. So I did my laundry one time while I was there. And sometimes the people who stayed in the dorm room before you will leave stuff there. We had like a 24-pack of apple cinnamon oatmeal that someone had left. Also a couple of mac and cheese meal things. And our room had 2 little refrigerators in it. And there was a living room dining area, 2 bathrooms, 2 bedrooms, and then a storage closet that had cleaning supplies like a broom, dustpan, vacuum cleaner, dusting spray, and some air freshener. And of course, you'll want to make sure that you take your personal hygiene things, body wash, soap, shampoo. A lot of times it's a good idea, of course, deodorant, hairbrush, comb. But it's always a good idea to, if you can, and I know some people have a lot of issue using this, but it's a good idea. They make the stuff that you can use as shampoo / conditioner and body wash. And they have started making it, where the conditioner is added to it, which is better for your skin when you're using it for a soap. So that's a good idea when you're in a situation where you're in someone else's vehicle and you don't want to take a whole bunch of stuff with you. Of course, if you have dentures, take your denture bath, your denture tablets, your denture brush. Have your teeth you were born with, take a toothbrush and toothpaste, maybe some mouthwash. And I recommend taking some snacks with you too, like granola bars or something along that line. So, of course, the school that was more suited for me, the training program that was more suited for me, was the Crowder College one, because it is longer, so they do spend more time with you on the different stuff. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about what we did when I went to Crowder College for CFI. And they do provide your meals, 3 meals a day on weekdays. On the weekend, they do not provide breakfast, but they do provide lunch and dinner. And you don't have to pay for any of that. So you might walk away, if you don't make it through the school like I did, owing them $1,500, $2,000, depending on when you leave, maybe even $2,500, $3,000. I don't know. And as I said, I did these schools in 2019. I did the Wilson one in like Memorial Day weekend, 2019. The Crowder College one I did August 2019. So it has been a while. So I don't know about COVID restrictions and stuff like that. But so some of the stuff we did at Crowder College, we did classroom stuff about the makeup of the truck. A lot of the stuff we did in the classroom had to do with pre-trip and hours of service, the difference between hours of service and driving hours, and general information about making sure that your truck is in good condition, and how the truck works, kind of. And we did not do any bobtail runs, which, now that I think about it, is a little interesting because driving without a trailer is quite a bit different than driving with a trailer. But anyway, so how it worked after we got there on, I'm thinking it was a Thursday. I'm not sure why I'm thinking that, but yes, it was a Thursday. We got there on a Thursday or bright and early Friday morning for some people. When I went to when I went to CFI / Crowder College, there was me, another girl, and two guys when we initially went and did our drug test, our orientation type stuff. And they have a program for the Puerto Ricans. The Puerto Ricans stay in Joplin, Missouri for a week longer and work with CFI so that they can get their permit to go to CDL school. And then a week later, they go to Crowder College. So one of the guys that was with us during orientation was one of the Puerto Rican guys, and he had to stay, which he was like, no, but yeah, he had to stay and do the 1 week program to get his CDL permit, because the rest of us had our CDL permits. So we went ahead and went to Crowder College on Saturday morning. And then we did a really brief orientation there. They explained to us, there's a van that goes to Walmart, I believe, Monday mornings, if I recall correctly. Or not Monday mornings, Monday after class. Though it might have been Friday after class. I cannot remember, and I wish I could. I think it was Friday after class, actually, now that I think about it, because the day that I left was on a Friday. And their classes are 3 weeks long, because I left the Friday of the second week is when I left. And so I'll talk a little bit about how they do their testing. You get 2 attempts there also. I'm pretty sure, possibly 3. Pretty sure it's 2 though. It seems to be kind of customary with truck driver training schools, though some of them only give you 1 attempt from what I've been told. Don't know for sure. That might just be people being like one of the guys that I went to Wilson with and being like, I'm not going to retest because they didn't pass me the first time. Like, dude, why would you not retest and try? Giving you a second chance. But anyway, so of course we did the pre-trip at Crowder. Also, there wasn't a whole lot of classroom time that was committed to the pre-trip, but we had trucks that were always there that we always had access to. So even on the weekend, I'm trying to think if we had class on the weekend or not. We did not. But yeah, so they had a video in the rooms about the pre-trip, which is fairly accurate. Recommend watching that. And you can go over to the truck school area, which is kind of on the other side of the campus, but you can go over there anytime that you're not in class. And of course, when I went, it was August. It was really, really hot. But we walked over there several times, and you can do the pre-trip inspection on your own. You can't do the in-cab then because trucks are locked, but you can kind of simulate it outside of the trucks. But yeah, you can do that anytime you want to. And also when I was at Wilson, we stayed at a hotel that's across the street from where the Prime Hotel is. Prime bought a hotel that they use for their drivers, and they have two, I believe it was, trucks over at their hotel that we were allowed to go across the road and do pre-trip inspections on when we were there. I did that a couple of times there. But anyway, so at Crowder, I don't think we did any driving the first day that I believe the first day was all in classroom stuff and doing pre-trip inspection with the trainers. And I believe possibly we also did that the second day. The third day, we were split into two groups because at that time, there was me and the girl. There was a guy who was local. There was the guy that did our orientation onboarding stuff with us. And then there were two Puerto Rican guys. So there were 6 of us, and we had 2 trainers. So they split us into 2 groups, 3 people per truck, not counting the trainer, of course. And then we went, they have quite a bit of acreage that has various roads on it that connects to a National Guard base, ironically. But anyway, we went back there and we did driving. We practiced button hook turns, made turns to the left, turns to the right, drove. It's like basically a 1-lane paved road system that they have back there that's really nice. And then we did that pretty much for the first week, I believe it was. And then we went out for our first actual road training deal, which was the Thursday of the first week. We went for, I think it was Thursday, we went for a kind of short, I would say it was probably maybe from the school around the route that we used and back to the school was probably about 4 miles or so. The route that we took itself, if you weren't the one that was driving to the route or back to the school, and I drove back to the school and the other girl drove to the route that we took. Anyway, if the route itself, I'm pretty sure was about 3 miles. So, and we did that route that day. I want to say each of us did it at least 3 times. Almost certain, possibly 4 times. And then the next day, which was Friday, we went out and we did that one, I believe it was twice each before lunch. And then we did some in classroom stuff. And then after lunch, we went and did the road drive, which we went out on the bypass. And I think that one was probably at least 8 miles long. I could be wrong. But I wish I had gone first on that one, because by the time the guy did his, about a quarter of the way into his, it started pouring down rain. So when I did mine, it was flat out raining, and I didn't do as well as I think I would have done if it hadn't been raining. But yeah, so then the second week we worked on backing. Of course, we took turns driving from where the trucks were parked by the classroom, and we still did classroom stuff. Like we did tests. We had reading assignments in the book that they gave us that we were required to do. But yeah, we did, we took turns driving the truck over to the backing area, unless the truck we were supposed to be using was already over there, which happened, I think, only one day for our group. The other group, I think it happened 2 days. But anyway, we went over there. We practiced our straight line backing, which I got a lot of compliments on how good I was at it. We practiced our parallel parking, and we're supposed to do a test for the parallel parking on, I believe it was Wednesday of that week. The other girl and one of the guys went first when I was there, and they both failed miserably. And so the instructors and 3 of the people in our group decided that they should hold off on testing us for the parallel backing. Me and the Puerto Ricans were like, no, I want to go ahead and do it. So whenever we went to go to back, I backed twice on the regular parallel before I did the other one, because the other girl was over there practicing it. So anyway, I did that one twice. The first time I did it, I scored a 90. About the guy that would have been one of the ones that was scoring us. I scored a 90 the first time I tried that one, I did that one. The second time I did it, I scored 100. So I would have passed that one with flying colors. And then she finally got out of the other truck doing the blind side parallel. So we went over there and did it. And the first time I did that one, I got 100. So, and I was wanting to do that one first when we did the test so that I wouldn't, mess up. But like whenever they asked who was ready, who wanted to go first, like we all raised our hands. So if they hadn't chose those 2 to go first, we might have went ahead and done that. But anyway, so the instructors, I feel like this was kind of biased. They ended up deciding to put me and the girl in a group together and all the guys in a group together and have us girls practice our straight line backing and parallel backing more. And that the Friday that I decided that I wasn't meant to do it, I was just getting majorly stressed out. I was becoming severely impatient. And to be quite frank, I was mad that they grouped me with her when we did the parallel backing. I scored 100, or I scored 90 on the regular one, the first attempt, 100 on the second attempt, and scored 100 on the blind side one the first time. So how do you end me up with more practice backing with the other girl? Because we're both girls? Yeah, most likely. But anyway, I decided that it wasn't for me because I was getting too frustrated with trying to remember how, like, all the points with using the trailer of the truck and certain points on the truck to be able to properly do the parallel backing, because I had been doing it for so long at this point. I think I did it for like 3 days or something. And I was like, I want to go on to do the other stuff because I know that I could do it. And I had been promised that I would have a job at a hotel doing housekeeping that I was doing before I went to the truck driver training school, if that didn't work out for me. So I was like, well, it's like I have a job waiting for me back at home that pays fairly well. So yeah, I made the decision to not do that. Came back, discovered that job was not actually there waiting for me. So thanks for that. But anyway, Crowder, CFI, you do have the option to, no, that's not right. Crowder has the option of training on either a standard manual transmission or an automatic. If you go to school for CFI, you will be training on an automatic unless they have changed that. And they were talking about going to a 30-day school program. They had that before I went, and then they had talked about going back to that. And I was, speaking of going back, I was going to talk about how their test thing works. So the week after I was there, we were going to do some brush up, finish up type stuff on Monday for the CDL test. And then that Tuesday, we would have done the first attempt. See, so I think they do give you 3 attempts there, if I remember right, now that I think about it. because you're there through Saturday, and Missouri does testing on Saturdays. Now, both of these schools are in Springfield, Missouri, in case you don't know that. CFI at one point was also using a school that's in Joplin, which is where they're headquartered, but I don't know that they do that at all anymore. I think possibly all of their students are being sent to Crowder now. But yeah, they did the testing on Tuesday. Of course, you start out with your pre-trip inspection. If you fail the pre-trip inspection, you don't go on to the next part. And this is the way it works at Will-Trans as well as Crowder College. Do the pre-trip inspection first. As I said, if you don't pass the pre-trip inspection part, you don't go on. I mean, you get a second attempt, but you failed your test. The second step is the road test itself, from what I understand. And if you pass that, then you go on to the backing part. The backing part is where a lot of people fail. I believe with the pre-trip inspection as well as backing, you don't necessarily have to do everything. With the pre-trip inspection, you may have to do the external. Let's see, it's split into three parts. Oh wait, no, it's 4. I was thinking 4 at first. Yeah, there's the lights. There's one that involves the lights, and I would have said there's something else on that one, but I can't think of what it is right now. And there's, of course, the in-cab inspection. There's trailer inspection, and then the cab one. Or cab and, oh my gosh, I'm forgetting what the heck it's called, the thing you hook your trailer onto. Anyway, maybe I shouldn't have done this yet. I'm too tired. But anyway, yeah. So that's divided into 4 different parts. And from what I understand, you draw to see which one you're going to do. Slip of paper. And you might end up doing the entire truck. You might end up doing the trailer and essentially the body of the truck part. You might end up doing, I think you had to do at least 3, at least 2, I think. So you might end up doing, say, in-cab and trailer. You might end up doing lights and body of the truck. You might end up doing the whole truck if that's the one that you draw. But there was the possibility that you did not have to do the whole thing. And I was like, I kind of want to do the whole thing so I know that I'll know how to inspect my truck properly, right? Pass on that one, you're good to go. And then, of course, with the road driving, they grade you on all sorts of stuff. There are some instant fails, which are near accidents, is one of them. There's another one that I don't recall what is right offhand. I know a near accident is an automatic fail. Well, anything that is obviously going to put you, other drivers, or the truck at risk, essentially, is an automatic fail for the driving part of the test. And then with the backing, you draw also. You may end up having to do, I think you only have to do 3. I don't think you ever have to do all 4 of the types of backing. And the types of backing, there's straight line backing, there's parallel parking, there's offside, which is basically the same as parallel, but it's like you're in this spot, but you need to be in that one. Like you pull into this dock at a warehouse and they're like, I'm sorry, instead of dock 48, could you possibly pull into 47? So you need to go from this one to that one. And to me, they told us, I never did get to practice that one, but they told us use the same concept as parallel parking. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, we went from the truck being right here to being into that spot. So it's the same. Is it not exactly the same? I never got to practice it. So like I said, I don't really know. But anyway, um, and then the other one is, I cannot remember what it's called. um, alley, alley parking, where you back down a narrow thing and then at a 45-degree angle, I think it is usually. Um, so yeah, those are the 4 types of backing. And whoa, I had my phone turned up way loud. Anyway, those are the 4 types of backing. And as I said, I don't think that you ever have to do all of them. I think that 3 is the most that you have to do, but I could be wrong on that. So I enjoyed my time at truck driver training. I really wanted that to be my new career. I get calls all the time now from the Truckers Report wanting to tell me about companies that I might be interested in working for, training with, and whatnot and the other. But I have my new grandson I'm babysitting, which I really, he's so adorable. I just love watching him. I haven't watched him about all this week because my granddaughter is here and she's an older child and she has been watching him a lot. And I'm like, I need my grandbaby. But we did go to their house the other day. But anyway, so, and my little dog Damon, he's laying down there under the table. He ended up with cervical disc rupture and IVDD pretty much a year after I had completed my truck driver training. I was planning to take him on the truck with me, and he might have not ended up with it if I'd taken him on the truck with me, because I was going to get him a new pet carrier to sit in the floor of the truck in the sleeper area, and part of the time let him be in it, and part of the time, in this bed in the sleeper itself or in the passenger seat. Sometimes he wants to crawl in your lap when you're driving, and that would not have been good. But the point is, he got his injuries from jumping on and off of furniture, mostly my bed, partly our couch, I'm sure. And if I had made it in truck driver training school, he may have never actually had those injuries, which was something I hadn't really even thought about until right now. But anyway, I'm not in a situation where I could do it now, and I get so frustrated with driving now that, I feel like it's in high demand. Like there are a lot of companies that are needing drivers now because people are buying so much stuff still, with COVID still being as bad as it is. But it seems like there's something that I'm leaving out. Oh yes, I was talking about the testing. So you do with Crowder, you do your first attempt on the testing on Tuesday. I'm pretty sure. And if you don't pass on Tuesday, then you retest on Thursday. And after I thought about it, I decided that if you don't pass Thursday, you test on Saturday. And I'm pretty sure that's right, because like I said, Missouri does testing on Saturdays for CDL. But I know that one of the Puerto Rican guys from the class that was like, they did their testing the second week we were there, I think. One of their guys was still there the following Monday. So if he passed it that Saturday, he should have gone back whenever they dropped off the new class that Saturday. So I'm trying to remember. And of course, I don't know exactly how the stuff works for them, because they do more, for the Puerto Ricans than they do for people who are from this country. I mean, Puerto Ricans are considered part of our country, but like, if you're not Puerto Rican, they don't help you get your CDL permit. You're required to do that yourself. So they do more for them along that line than they do for your average Joe, so to speak. So that to me that doesn't seem fair. And like when I went to Wilson, there was a guy who was ex-military who was the one that got his trainer the first day that we went. Companies do a lot for military people, and the training at Wilson, I feel, it's a lot better for people that have some experience actually driving a semi truck. So, like if you've been in the military or have a family member that has let you drive their truck, even though they're not supposed to, whenever you go somewhere with them or something. Or if you live on a farm, I almost said my chiropractor, my rheumatologist told me that he always drove a semi truck on their family farm because they hauled hay and I want to say feed also using a semi truck. And if you only drive it on the farm for farm purposes, not like long distances on the highway or whatever, you don't even have to have a CDL, which is something I didn't know. But yeah, if you have experience driving them like that, then Wilson is a good school for you. If you have no experience whatsoever driving a semi truck, I don't recommend training with Wilson Logistics at all. I recommend training with some place like Swift or Crowder. One of the trainers at Wilson drove for Swift for a long time, and she told me that I should go to school for Swift, which I contemplated for a long time and decided to go with CFI instead because CFI runs to Mexico and Canada, and I wanted to go to Canada. Swift runs to Mexico or at least to the border, like across the border to pick stuff up, and the US. And it's like, when I think back on the whole backing thing, I go, maybe I should have gone with Swift, But anyway, seems like there was something else I was going to say about it, but I don't recall what it would have been. So if anyone has any questions or comments, feel free to comment. Please subscribe. No one's watching this right now, but hopefully, truck drivers are driving right now. So, yeah, but truck drivers wouldn't be watching this. It'd be people that are going to train to be truck drivers. Anyway, I am so tired. My allergies have been acting up, and I've not been feeling real great the past few days. So it's probably a good thing I'm not watching my grandson. But anyway, I am going to, I don't know, go back to sleep. Anyway, everyone have a good, whatever time of night or day it is in your part of the world. Stay safe, stay positive, and check back for more videos. I'm going to try to find, they're in my Google Photos. I need to watch through my Crowder College videos and find the ones that I have from when I was actually there that I did not post because I was there for a while, and I did make quite a few more videos there than I did when I was at Wilson, because when I was at Wilson, I was like always studying or sleeping or eating or doing the training at their place. And Wilson provides you lunch when you're there. That's the only meal that they provide is lunch, but they do provide that, and it's only 1 week. So of course, but on the weekend, when you get there, they don't provide the meal and stuff. I think I forgot to say that earlier, but anyway, please subscribe, and you will see me next time.